Hey guys, today I'm going to cover two astrological rituals surrounding the June 24th Surfside, Florida condominium collapse, and then also the June 25th sentencing of Derek Chauvin in the George Floyd case. I'm going to show you the two different astrological alignment rituals and some gematria here as well that go along with these two events. We'll start here by looking at the Surfside, Florida condo collapse that happened on June 24th. And June 24th is the celebration of the birth of John the Baptist, the man who baptized Jesus. And I'll show you some other Jesus and biblical rituals that go along with this as well. So 6/24/2021 is 9 years after the release of I Pet Goat 2 as well. And I'll show you how this connects there. At this ending scene, we have the collapse. A lot of people have compared this collapse in I Pet Goat to Notre Dame, and I'll show you how that connects to the Surfside condominium collapse here. But first, let's look at the gematria of Surfside, Florida. Sums to 166 in ordinal. 166. The 166th prime number is 983. And if you go to the King James Bible and search for the number of instances that the word Jesus appears in the King James Bible, it's 983 times, the 166th prime number. And if we take a look here for the other part of the ritual, we look at Revelation, the Alpha and the Omega. This is the first reference to the Alpha and the Omega in Revelation 1:8. But if we look at the isopsophy of the Alpha and Omega characters, the values, Alpha is a value of 1, Omega has a value of 800, so they sum to 801. And we had the Notre Dame collapse on 4/15/2019. To 6/24/2021, the condo collapse, 801 days, the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Also, what's interesting, I'm going to cover this in a future video, but the 801 area code is in Utah. And I've been talking a lot about the founding of the United States and some other interesting things about the types of citizenships that the United States has, but I'll show you how that connects to the 801 area code in a future video. But this 801 in the isopsophy, the Greek isopsophy, is the Alpha and the Omega. But what else is interesting here, I did this post on Bobby Simpson's Facebook group, Gematria Truth. I did it on June 19th. Donald John Trump turned 900 months, 11 days old on June 24th, 2021. Donald John Trump, 185 ordinal. St. John Baptiste, 185 ordinal as well. And this condo collapse just happened to happen 1 year, 85 days after the Mars-Saturn conjunction. I did covered a lot of these, or this ritual quite a bit last year. Mars-Saturn conjunction in Capricorn, and in the Chinese zodiac, it was in the asterism of the ox. We're back on 3/31/2020, 1 year, 85 days to the condo collapse. And what was interesting about this is in all of these articles about the collapse, they made a point to show there was nearly 300 370 first responders, 370 people with the search and rescue. Almost all the articles, no matter what website, had the 370 in it. And that's because the magic squares of Mars and Saturn sum to 370. Mars has a magic square of 325, Saturn 45, summing to 370. So they made sure to show all these 370s and all the articles for the Florida condo collapse. It was 1 year, 85 days after the Mars-Saturn conjunction. St. John Baptiste, 185, Donald John Trump, 185, and he was 900 months, 11 days old the day of the collapse. Just like the Twin Towers collapsed on 8/11. The Spire collapse on Notre Dame. The 9-year anniversary of I Pet Goat. All connects there. Next thing I want to show you guys here is the Derek Chauvin sentencing. Derek Chauvin is the police officer that kneeled on George Floyd's neck back May 25th, 2020. And what's interesting about this, it's a Capricorn and Gemini ritual. Something else that Bobby Simpson had turned me on to is the medical astrology. How each sign is related to a part of the body or a function of the biological systems of the body. And if we take a look at Capricorn, Capricorn is the knee, the joints of the body and the hair. But here we have the knee, of course, and it was Derek Chauvin who put his knee on George Floyd's neck. And then that was in Minneapolis, Minnesota, the Twin Cities. And we have the Gemini constellation, the twins. And part of the medical astrology association there is it's the lungs, the trachea, and the bronchi. And of course, he kneeled on his neck until he couldn't breathe. So we had the Capricorn and Gemini ritual, the knees, and the lungs and trachea. And the initials of George Floyd, GF, are 76, just like the symbol for Capricorn resembles a 76. And another interesting thing about Derek Chauvin and George Floyd is their birthdays are reciprocal or palindrome days. Derek Chauvin, he represents Capricorn here. He was born in 1976, so he was born in 76 on 3/19/76. I believe George Floyd was born on 1977. 73, 10, 14, 73. What I want to show you guys here is these two dates. The birth of Derek Chauvin and George Floyd are opposite days. 1976 just happened to be a leap year. So he was born on the 79th day with 287 days remaining, and George Floyd was born on the 287th day with 78 remaining. Normally that'd be an exact reciprocal, but 76 was a leap year. But born on exact reciprocal or palindrome days. Kind of interesting there. George Floyd is Gemini, and Derek Chauvin is Capricorn. Now, what's interesting about the sentencing, it's related to tropical astrology, where Capricorn starts at the 270 degrees. Capricorn starts at 270 degrees on the tropical astrology, and he was sentenced to 270 months in prison, 22 and a half years. It's 270 months. kind of an odd sentencing, but they did it because of the Capricorn connection. He kneeled on him with the knee. Capricorn starts at 270 degrees, tropical astrology. It's kind of interesting also that it's 22 and a half years, 22-12. I've talked a lot about the date of 12-22. The lunation, moon lunation, 12-22. A lot of connections with the 12-22. I'm going to do some more in the future also, but 22 and a half years, 270 months, all about Capricorn. And the other connection here that was on June 25th, there's 625. And Capricorn or the Sun will enter Capricorn on 1/19/2022. And I'll show you the date to date there. Take a look here. Look at the Sun here on 1/19/2022. It will move into Capricorn on the evening of January 19th, 2022. Look at the date to date for the sentencing. Six months, 25 days till the Sun hits Capricorn. So a complete Capricorn ritual from beginning to end there. Capricorn, Gemini, Twin Cities, George Floyd, GF, 2076, born in 76. What's interesting about that date as well, Mars, the god of war, will be crossing the Golden Gate of the ecliptic, which is the 267th degree of the ecliptic. Now I've talked about the other Golden Gate as well, that's in Taurus, between the Pleiades and Hyades cluster. But Mars will be crossing the 267th degree ecliptic, which is the Golden Gate, the other Golden Gate. But just another interesting connection there, 6 months, 25 days after 625, the Sun enters Capricorn. And one other thing I want to show you guys, of course, if you keep up with my channel is all about Revelation 8:11, the falling wormwood star. I'm going to be covering a little bit more about these three numbers here in my next video, or one of my next videos here. The relationship between 969, 1377, and 2251. If we daisy chain the base 10, base 12 numbers. But of course, 1377 is the ordinal gematria value of Revelation 8:11. And I've been talking a lot about the founding of the United States. The United States was founded in 1776. What's interesting about 8:11 is the 141st prime number. If we take all three permutations of 8:11 and 141, they sum to 1776. Now I want to show you something with the Constitution of the United States. It was ratified on June 21st, 1788, and became effective on March 4th, 1789. That's 8 months, 11 days between the ratification and the date it became effective. 256 days is 8 months, 11 days. All about the 8:11, but what I'm going to be covering here that's kind of interesting about the Constitution is what is a constitutor in law. It's someone that agrees to become responsible for the payment of another's debt. So the Constitution, I'll explain that a little bit more, but this was kind of the beginning of the takeover of the United States by the Crown with the Constitution. But I'll cover this more a little bit in the future. But just want to show you guys that 8/11 and then the 1776 connection there with 8/11 and 141. Okay, guys. Like I said, I have a lot more to do. I'm very far behind, but I'm kind of going at the pace I can here. I'm going to do another Tiger video. I found a lot more Tiger predictive programming and Tiger symbolism for the Tiger year, which starts February 1st, 2022. That'll probably be my next one, but I also want to cover more of that Constitution and the founding of the United States. And I kind of showed you guys how that worked with Venus as well. The United States was founded on the 8th month and 11th day after the Venus-Sun transit on 6/3/1769. So a lot of astrological rituals with the Constitution, with Venus, especially Capricorn. So a lot more to cover. Okay, guys, thanks for watching.